With my last £12, 2 hours on the clock, if a game can't prove itself, it's finished, refunded forever. Welcome to Refund Review. If you don't know already, the Henry Stickmin Collection is basically 6 episodes of choose your own adventure. But I didn't play so much, it was more of a choice-driven game. In some situations, I tried teleporting through walls, well, into walls, used weird gadgets, and found some of the craziest ways to die. And somehow that was the charm. But the whole game runs off its choice system. It's simple but addictive. Every choice gave me either the perfect solution or a goofy fail. And I can't lie, some of the fails were genuinely funny. Well, random but funny. At first, I didn't have much gameplay to go on, but after my first initial 20 minutes, I discovered new mechanics. This being the time choice system and the multiple paths. And yes, it still does tie in with the choice-based system. And it doesn't add much more, but still, it worked. Like those time choices especially, they built tension in a way I didn't expect. And what I love most about the game is that every choice gave me something new. It was visual comedy but done perfectly. You watch every choice you do have a big consequence, even if it's strange. But there were 2 main issues I had with the gameplay. First, it can get repetitive. Like after playing 2 hours, I thought there would be more. And it's like once you've seen those choices, you start predicting what will go wrong. But even then, the humor still makes up for it. And the second issue I have is that there's not a lot of gameplay. It's very minimalistic, but I guess it still works. It's a story-driven game at the end of the day. So yeah, the whole game is built off its story, and it's weirdly cohesive. You start out as Henry, a stickman criminal doing heists in the weirdest but best ways possible. Like I got to break into banks, steal some diamonds, hijack airships, and even ended up in space. But here's a bit more detail of how it went. The episode started off with me disguising myself and then winning a court case. It was quite random, but then I took a completely different route and ended up dying from a gas leak. So that was the end of that run. Then in episode 1, stealing the diamond, I tried out both the sneaky and loud approach. It was 2 totally different experiences, different outcomes for the same episode. But by the time I hit the episode Infiltrating the Airship, everything started to connect. There were 2 guys trying to interrogate me by bringing up my old past. But this run also gave a lot more choices and even crazier stickman deaths. Like look at this, why would you show this to some kids? But the branching paths are insane, over 15 endings and 347 unique fails. But here's the thing, you could probably complete all the game's endings and still refund it. Well, that's if you complete most of the scenes. I mean, you probably couldn't do it with the unique fails as there are a lot. But in the 2 hours I had, I didn't even complete all the endings or unique fails. Well, looking back, barely any of them, so this game probably has a lot of replay value. But now looking into the visual side, at the end of the day, it's just stickmen, but that's kind of the point. It's simple, expressive, and insanely recognizable. The stick figures just make the animation feel like an ASDF movie, and I love it. But honestly, the animation is the backbone of the whole game. It's basically a mini show. Every movement, expression, and ridiculous fail is animated with so much personality. It's what keeps the entire experience alive. It's the reason why Henry Stickmin Collection holds up today. The animation carries it. It's what made it iconic in the Flash days, and it's what makes it work in 2025. Back then, it was one-of-a-kind game, so really this holds up so well. But what really impressed me were the maps. Every background felt handcrafted, like the devs actually cared about making the chaos look good, not just reusing the same art. And one map I want to mention was the space one. This especially stood out. The lighting, depth, and even the satellite firing a massive energy beam. It looked way better than a Stickman game had any right to. Honestly, I respect the devs so much, this looks amazing. But what also held up the game to me, especially in 2025, is the sound effects. And the reason as to why I think they're a lot better now than they were back then, it's not like they changed anything, it's the fact Among Us came out. Because the thing is, the same devs who made this game also made Among Us. Which meant when they made Among Us, they reused a lot of sounds, especially from this game. Because in Henry Stickmin, you've got things like the emergency button, the vent opening sound, and then a few goofy voice lines. But it's just crazy to think that the sound effects in this game were so iconic before anyone even knew it. And as for the music, there isn't much of it, but when it hits, it genuinely hits. Especially that track when the robot came in. That completely caught me off guard, but it was so cool. But I do have to say, my favourite song has to be the Stickmin menu theme. It's pure nostalgia, I remember that since I was a little kid. It genuinely made me feel like I was playing the old Flash games again. But the benefit to the old Flash games is that they were free, whereas here it's £12, and for me that's a little steep. Like, yeah, you get all 6 episodes and a heavy dose of nostalgia, but it's over fast. Like, I managed to get through most of the endings and still had time to hit Steam's refund limit. So I can't lie, if it was around £7, I'd say that is a lot better. But honestly, I don't mind paying a bit more just to support the devs. After all, it's an amazing childhood game, and the replayability, it's there, so I'll have to give it to them. So now, after 2 hours of choices, chaos, and dying in the dumbest ways possible, the Henry Stickmin Collection, for me, gets a 6 out of 10. I feel like if I was a lot younger, I'd put this at a 9, but in 2025, it doesn't hold up as strong as it used to be. And finally, the things you guys were waiting for, will I refund it? Well, no, not this one. I feel like I need to 100% the game, and honestly, if I'd done that in the 2-hour mark, it would probably be gone already. But apart from that, please like, subscribe, and comment what game you want next or your opinion on this game. See you guys in the next one.